यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So starting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text number 13. Granthras Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. देहिनो अस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिर्धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. The very famous shloka, we can try to chant for some time. देहिनो अस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिर धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. Once more. देहिनो यस्मिन् यथा देहे Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara Tatha Dehantara Praptir Dhirastatra Namuhyati Dehino Asmin Yatha Dehe Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara Tatha Dehantar Praptir Dhirastatra Namuhyati. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. I'll repeat the translation. As the embodied soul, you can also repeat, be nice. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Kindly hear attentively. Very important message is there. So please focus for some time. Since every living entity is an individual soul, each is changing his body every moment, manifesting sometimes as a child, sometimes as youth, and sometimes as old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. This individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body. And since it's sure to have another body in the next birth, either material or spiritual, there is no cause for lamentation by Arjuna on account of death, neither for Bhishma nor for Drona, for whom he was so much concerned. Rather, he should rejoice for their changing bodies from old to new ones, thereby rejuvenating their energy. Such changes of body account for varieties of enjoyment or sufferings according to one's work in life. So Bhishma and Drona, being noble souls, were surely going to have a spiritual body in the next life, or at least life in heavenly bodies, for superior enjoyment of material existence. So in either case, there was no cause of lamentation. Any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul and the nature, both material and spiritual, is called a dhira, or most sober man. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. The Mayavadi theory of oneness of the spirit soul cannot be entertained on the ground that the spirit soul cannot be cut into pieces as the fragmental portion. Such cutting into different individual souls would make the supreme cleavable or changeable against the principle of supreme souls being unchangeable. As confirmed in the Gita, the fragmental portion of the supreme exists eternally and are called kshara. That is, they have a tendency to fall down into material nature. These fragmental portions are eternally so, and even after liberation, the individual soul remains the same, fragmental. But once liberated, he lives an eternal life in bliss and knowledge with the personality of Godhead. The theory of reflection can be applied to the super soul who is present in each and every individual body and is known as Paramatma. He is different from the individual living entity. When the sky is reflected in water, the reflections represent both the sun and the moon and the stars also. The stars can be compared to living entities and the sun or the moon to the Supreme Lord. The individual fragmental spirit soul is represented by Arjuna, and the Supreme Soul, personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. They are not on the same level as it will be apparent in the beginning of the 4th chapter. If the Arjuna is on the same level with Krishna, and Krishna is not superior to Arjuna, then their relationship of instructor and instructed becomes meaningless. If both of them are deluded by illusory energy Maya, then there is no need of one being the instructor and other instructed. Such instructions would be useless because in the clutches of Maya no one can be authoritative instructor. Under the circumstances, it's admitted that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, superior in position to living entity. Arjuna is forgetful soul deluded by Maya. Om Tat Sat Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langyayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. So we welcome all of you on this Super Sunday program. So we are very grateful that all of you spend your valuable time today evening being here at lotus feet of their Lordship Sri Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Devi, Gaur Nitai. And we also wish you Happy Republic Day. And it's very much related with what we are doing, because on this day our constitution was released. And when Krishna created this world, he also spoke about the constitution. He spoke to Brahma, Lord Brahma, in his heart directly. Tene Brahma Hidaya Adi Kaviye. So he spoke, Lord Krishna spoke this constitution, and which is manifesto as a Vedas. The Vedas are the directing principles for all human civilization. Vedas direct us what should be done, what should not be done, so that we can remain happy and peaceful in this world and we progress in our life. So later the same Vedas was again spoken by the Lord. It's coming in parampara. Evam parampara praptam rajarasyo viduhu. So Krishna first spoke to Lord Brahma, and we know as the time passes things get diluted. So the Lord again and again spoke the same science. So he spoke this science long back to Sun God. It's mentioned that the Lord has spoken this millions of years before to Sun God. And then Sun God spoke to Ikshvanku. Then Sun God spoke to his son Manu. Manu spoke to his son Ikshvanku. Like that, this comes in parampara. And again Lord spoke the science of Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years before to Arjuna. So this is a constitution of a human life. It's not only restricted to India. It's applicable to everyone, not subjected to time, place, and circumstances, because it is coming from absolute truth. So it's always applicable in all places, to all people, to all living entities. It is the absolute truth. It's a real constitution. So on this Republic Day, we are great fortune to discuss this. And Krishna is in Bhagavad Gita. He is teaching fundamentals of our life. He is teaching from A to Z. Therefore, as Bhagavad Gita is said that one scripture is enough. One Bhagavad Gita is enough. Everything what's mentioned in the scriptures, Vedas, is very vast. All that is there in Bhagavad Gita. And starting from very basic, and it goes to the end. Everything is there. And here I am particularly motivated to speak about this verse for two reasons. Because this is the key verse of Bhagavad Gita, from where our spiritual life actually begins. And secondly, why I am motivated? Because I was just coming from meeting one of well-wisher, and he was sick, so I just went to meet him. And I asked him to chant Hare Krishna. And I was trying to say, this Hare Krishna you should chant, because you should prepare for next life. Because we have to give up this life, we have to go to some other, we have changed the body, we go to another body. Then he instantly said, there rebirth, I don't believe in rebirth. What is proof of rebirth? So I was motivated to speak this today, because I told him in Bhagavad Gita so many places Krishna is telling there is a rebirth. And why you are speaking like this? This is speaking after long time. I have told him to chant Hare Krishna and all these things, but somehow or other, it happens to us also. We hear that we are soul everywhere, but we remain the same. We keep doing the same thing. We don't take the spiritual life seriously. It's not that it happens to him, but it happens to us also regularly. So it's very, very important, to recall these teachings of Lord regular basis. So I told him it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So I just wanted to show you where it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. It's mentioned here when Krishna speaks to Arjuna. The first thing he starts telling Arjuna that you are not the body, you are the soul. He's telling that tatha dehantar prapti. No, Prabhupada is telling the soul similarly passes into another body at death. Dehantar prapti. Dehantar means change of body. We have got this body, and then at time of death, we change from this body to another body. Therefore, it is called dehanta. Dehanta. This is the definition of death. Change of body. So saying there is a rebirth is there. Within this life itself, we see we change the body. What to speak about at time of death? Krishna that's what he is highlighting in this verse, saying that dehino yasmin yatha dehe kaumaram yaunam jara. It's like as we change the body in this life from boyhood to youth and again to old age. Similarly, at time of death, we change from one type of body to another type of body. If we just go through our old photographs when we are a child, and then we see our photographs when we are adult, and when we see another photograph when we are old, we can distinctly make this difference that these bodies are different. It is completely different. The body of a small boy and the body of an adult is completely different. Similarly, the old man body is completely different. The system is full body is changed. Within this life itself, we see, according to medical science also, the cells, they keep replacing. The cells will die, it will be replaced by another cells, and in this way the whole body keeps changing. Actually, we in the general language, we say we are growing. Actually, but this is a wrong statement. We are changing. According to Bhagavad Gita also, we are changing. Our body is changing. We change. Yeah, growing means they say we are growing from boyhood, childhood to youth. But actually we are changing. The correct word is we are changing from child to youth and to youth to old age. And Krishna is saying we'll change. At time of death, we change from one type of body to another type of body. So there's directly Krishna is speaking that there is a next body is there. And there's so many ways we can perceive this. We are not able to see directly the soul because soul is antimatter. We are not able to directly see the soul. It's not a matter, it is a spiritual. And the soul is described, even the dimension of the soul. It's described in the Puranas that dimension of soul is 10,000 of the tip of a hair. No, we take a hair and divide it to 100%, and we take 100% and again divide it to 100%. That the size of that tip of the hair this is what describes the size of a soul. It is so fragmental, so minute that even if it is a matter, with our naked eyes or with the best of the instruments, it's not possible to see that. So the soul, first of all, because it is antimatter, it is spiritual, we cannot see with this material eyes. And it's so small that anyway we cannot see that. So, but definitely we actually exist. Body is changing. We can see that we are not changing. So who are we? What is the answer? Who are we? We are not the body, then who are we? We exist in the childhood, we exist in the adult, we exist in the old age. And body changing. So who are we? So we'll understand this from the science of Bhagavad Gita. That is our principal identity. Our identity is, real identity is that we are soul. The body is a designation. In the so many other ways we can see there are so many cases of reincarnation. One of the famous doctor in the West, he examined and recorded 2,000 cases of reincarnation. Then he went on studies, case studies, and he just recorded for 2,000 different cases, and so many cases are there. So how is possible that people are able to have a memory of their past lives? And they're exactly able to tell what they actually experienced in previous life, and it is not possible for a small child or even to grow up people living in a different continent to have that kind of information or skill. In my own family, I had a sister. She was 4 or 5 years old, and she started driving car. And she drove the car in marketplace, and she said nobody has taught her before how to drive the car, and a special arrangement was made for her to drive the car. And she used to say that I was born in that place, and then she, without any training, she is able to recall her past life, and she is able to show that I am able to do. And there's so many videos also we can see. If you go to Google search or in YouTube, we can see there's so many cases of reincarnation. People are able to recall exactly, from their previous life, and their family members also, they're able to recognize them. Because they're speaking of so much of close secret. So this reincarnation, then we know that there's a near-death experience. There are so many people, they are about to die, and then they come back to their life again. It is like declared once they are dead, but again they come back to their life. And then they describe about many things which actually resembles from our scriptures. So they describe about near-death experience, out-of-body experience. Many heart surgeons, their patients are actually able to, once they are put into anesthesia and surgery is performed, when everything is done, they are able to reflect and say this is what was done. In one case, the doctor opened the heart, and while closing this, he forgot some instrument inside, and then again he opened it, and he redo the surgery. So when this patient when he came back into life, he described everything, and he was very shocked. There are so many such cases are there. It's just according to the modern science, in the medical understanding, we can realize this, that there is certainly there is something different from the body. Our identity is different from the body. We are not the body, we are soul. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, who has created this world, is clearly saying Dehanta Prapti, that we change from one body to another body. Our real identity is we are not the body, we are the soul. And we can also perceive, like in general language also, we speak like this. We will say that this is my body. It's like we say this is my shirt, this is my dress. So when we say it is my dress, my shirt, my hand, my leg, then we understand that I am different and shirt is different, dress is different. Similarly, when we say my body, then I am different and body is different. So our real identity is we are not the body, we are the soul. Having understood this, actually we should wake up and try to think about what I am doing. Am I doing something for myself? So this is very important. In this particular case, we see that Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita is lamenting over that such a great personalities, Drona and Bhishma, they will be killed by me. I will become the cause of their killing. And there so many other people will be killed. So Krishna is speaking this science to him, that you are saying that you are going to kill Bhishma and Drona, but you must understand that you are going to kill only bodies, not the soul, because soul can never die. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam mitasya janmacha. Krishna is telling that as whoever has taken birth surely has to die, and whoever is dying has to surely again take birth. So this is the fact. So he is explaining to Arjuna that you are lamenting for Bhishma and Dona, but there is no cause for lamentation because they are old men, and they are sooner or later they will die. On this battlefield, if this is a dharma kshetra, is a religious fight. So, as according to codes of religious principles, they are fighting. As Kshatriya die on the battlefield, so he is promoted to the heavenly planets, saying that because they are great personalities, they are devotees of the Lord, so they will go back to Godhead. Even in worst case, if they go back to heavenly planets also, they will continue to enjoy many times more than what they are able to do in this with their old body. So as Krishna is saying, why you don't have any cause to lament if you are thinking that you are going to kill them, because you cannot kill them. You cannot kill the soul. You can only kill the body. So this is very important for us to understand. Many decisions we make in life, we should keep this this understanding that this is a key of our spiritual understanding. We are not the body, we are spirit soul, and on basis of this we make any decisions, we will see that it will be it will be correct decision. When we neglect this, that we are body, we just take any decision on the based of body, then later we have to regret. For example, if you are given any mathematical some equation is given to you for us to solve. In the beginning of equation itself, we make a mistake. It's like there is a sum, instead of that we do multiplication, and all the other steps if we do nicely, correctly, but the end we will get the wrong result. So similarly, whatever we do, and we make mistake here, that we don't understand that we don't understand we are not body and we are soul, and we just keep on doing all other things, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, say no, all pious activities, everything we do, but we make a mistake here, understanding that we are not the body, we are soul. At the end we will regret. Krishna is telling, Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevram. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam testi ante kalevram. At whatever state of consciousness we are there at time of death, we will get that kind of body. The whole thing Krishna is systematically explaining to Arjuna, that first understanding is we are not the body, we are soul. And further, at time of death, we change from one body to another body. And further Krishna explains this, how this changes takes place. He's telling that in whatever state of consciousness we are at time of death, that kind of body will get. So it's like air carries the aroma. If there is a flower garden is there and there's a air is blowing, then you'll get a nice smell. And if there is some rotting material is dumped nearby and the air is blowing, we'll get some stinking smell. So as air is carrying the aroma, similarly our consciousness actually carries the soul from one type of body to another type of body. Example is explained in the scriptures of Bharat Maharaj. We are celebrating Republic Day, Bharat, great Bharat. This name is given on in the name of King Bharat, who was the son of Lord Rishabdev, a great personality. Whole planet is called in his name that time, Bharat Varsha. And now to India, this place we are calling as a Bharat Varsha. So, a very young age, he renounced all his kingdom. It was described that it was a very prosperous kingdom. He has everything. He was especially blessed by goddess Fortune. There's no rivalry. Everything was ruling in the best way. But he was very attracted towards the Supreme Lord. And it mentions Uttam Sloka Lalasa. In great desire, great eagerness to obtain the Supreme Lord, he renounced everything and went to forest, and he started practicing his spiritual life in the forest. It's mentioned that he was doing very good, and he made a very significant progress. But at time of death, due to some divine arrangement, he happened to be attached to one deer. Maybe many of us will be knowing this pastime, so I'm not explaining in detail. So it just happened to get attached to one deer, actually a child of a deer, and unfortunately, when he was dying, he was just thinking about the deer. And what happened? Now, actually, laws of nature is so stringent that even to the Bharat Maharaj, who was so qualified, almost ready to go back to Godhead, but at time of death, because he was thinking of a deer, he was born in a deer's body. So this is the actually fact. The laws, material laws are very stringent. Sometimes we can escape state laws. It's like for people do some crime and somehow they in the court they are able to prove, that they have not done anything wrong. There is no sufficient proof against them. Then they are relieved. But in the nature's law, it is not like that. The Krishna's arrangement is perfect. We can never deny that. The daytime we see the sun is watching, nighttime moon is watching, and then there is a air, fire. There is a sky. There are so many witnesses are mentioned in the scriptures. They are all round watched, and there is a perfect, perfect record is there. It says that we go to Yamaraj's place. There is his secretary sitting, Chitragupta. He is having all the video recording. Therefore, it's called Chitragupta. His name is. All the video recording is there. If we deny that, he will play it. You see, this time at this place we have done like this. All the recordings are there, so we cannot escape. The perfect arrangement. So there we cannot deny that no, I have not done this. All this, and above all this, the best of witness is the Supreme Lord who is sitting in our heart as Paramatma. We know that if we do something wrong, there is some voice, inside voice comes. No, you should not do this. You should not do this. Some call is coming from, inner call is coming. It is not from us. Sometimes we see that, no, the soul is thinking, no, it's the Lord actually. He is trying to guide us. No, we should not do that. The Lord as Super Soul, He is directing us. He is not only witnessing, but He is also directing according to our sincerity. And if we ignore that, because we keep ignoring, then we actually, at one point of time, we will not be able to even hear that call. So, the state laws, can be, one can escape, but from the nature's law, one cannot escape. It's like a fire. Even a small child touches the fire, fire will burn the child. Will it burn the small child? If it touch, small children are touching the fire, surely they will be burnt. So like that, Bharat Maharaj, though he was such a great personality, and because he happened to think about the deer time of death, he actually happened to become deer. But then a special consideration was given to him. In the deer body, he was able to have a past life memories. He was able to remember his past lives. It's like we have cases of reincarnation. So this is also example mentioned in the Puranas, cases of case of reincarnation, where Bharat Maharaj is able to recall his two lives. So he was in the deer's body, and he remembered that I was so nicely practicing Krishna consciousness bhakti, and somehow or other I made a mistake, and then I am this deer's body. So he became very careful, and then he was just he isolated himself from all other deers, and he was thinking about the Lord. And by mercy of the Lord, again he got a human form of life, and that human form of life, he was very careful, and it mentioned that he very sincerely practiced again Bhagavad Bhakti, and he went back to Godhead. So we should understand we are not the body, we are the soul, and whatever consciousness we have at time of death, that type of body we will get. If we are thinking about a donkey, at time of death will be born as a donkey.
What about the entire karma of entire life? If someone has committed a crime or theft or killing, at the last moment they just recite a shloka or think about God, he will be into that.
Uh,
Will this
that is not possible, because consciousness cannot be changed so easily. Whatever our consciousness is there, whatever we have developed, the consciousness will be there with us. It's like, say, we are not able to change the nature of people. We can externally, the person, can make a show, can have a makeup, but internally he will remain what he is. So if he is internally, he is like that, at time of death, you may be asked, oh, he may think about the Lord and go back to Godhead. But that is not possible, because it mentions when we are quitting the body, it's such a precarious situation. It's like it said that we go through so much of pain at that time. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosanu Darshanam. Krishna is telling the real problem, the real miseries of life, the source of miseries is birth, death, old age and disease. Birth and death. So death is described as the source of misery. It's mentioned that 40,000 scorpion if bites together, how much one person can experience the pain. Same pain he experiences at the time of death. Similar pain. So many scorpions are biting together. So even beyond imagination. So because in that state, the real nature will be shown. It's like you are in a force. So when a prisoner is caught or some criminal person is caught, then best thing is to do start beating him. Start beating him, still deny. Then keep beating him. The people, police, they know this. They coolly they keep beating. They know at this point of time this person is going to accept, right or not? I have seen one thief was caught in my house, and then he was taken into police station, and then policeman was beating, and we were feeling very bad. Why he's beating? Yes, no, for some more time only we have to beat him. And then correctly he agreed, yes, I only stole it. So like this. So at time of death, we go through so much of miseries. Whatever state of consciousness actually we are in, that is actually reflected. We cannot escape from there. It's like we take an orange and we start squeezing. What will come out? Orange will come. We cannot expect mango juice will come. Will not come mango juice. It's orange juice will come. So whatever consciousness we have actually developed throughout our life, the same consciousness will come. With that kind of thoughts only will come at time of death. So it is our responsibility actually to evolve our consciousness. It was a great responsibility. Therefore it says that we got this human form of life. It is our prime responsibility to evolve our consciousness. Therefore, our founder Srila Prabhupada, when he established this Krishna consciousness movement, he named this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he said that this is a topmost welfare activity. It's topmost welfare activity. A person is hungry, definitely, no doubt, it is a very good thing to feed him. A person doesn't have clothes, it's very good thing to give him clothes. But again he will need the cloth, again he will need the food. Actually the real liberation, the real independence comes for ourselves when we actually we become free from the cycle of birth and death. The so-called independence actually is it's the illusion. Within this we see that we'll go again and again from we are born Indian, but in next life we do not know which part of the world will be born, or which part of the universe will be born, or in which different universe will be born. We don't know. And which species will be born also we do not know. They are described, there are so many species, 84 lakh species are there. So not necessary that next life will be born as a human being. As of now, how we are going, There is very less chance we will come back as a human being. Because we are not doing what a human being is supposed to do. It's mentioned in Vedanta Sutra, first verse itself, Pathato Brahma Jigyasa. Now you got a human form of life, you must inquire about your spiritual identity, about your duty as a human being. You must inquire, who am I? Who is God? Why I am suffering? How this world is created? So all these $1,000,000 questions we supposed to inquire in this human form of life. This is our prime responsibility. And because we are not catering to this, we are not carrying out this great responsibility, so mostly we will not get this opportunity to get again a human body. It's as like our Prime Minister. If he forgets to do his Prime Minister duty and he just go on a tour, pleasure trip, then after 5 years election, he will not win the election. Correct or not? No, nobody will vote him. Similarly, according to the nature's law, if we do not carry out our human responsibility, then next life will not get human body. It was so simple. So it's a great responsibility that we should rise our consciousness. And how we can rise our consciousness? How we can rise our consciousness? Yeah, at present time they say that there is no other way. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastav, Nastav, Nastav Gatirnyata. So different times, different things are possible. It's like it's mentioned the cycle of time, the Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, and Satyuga. People were able to do meditation. They will just sit down and then meditate on the form of Lord. And they were able to do their capacity, their body, mental level was like that. And they are going back to God by doing meditation. But that meditation is not possible at present time because there's so much disturbance. As we are living in the city atmosphere. For meditation, one has to go to secluded place. Then they are not so much agitated. Our mind is so much disturbed. They can easily able to withdraw their senses. That's all is not possible. Even 5,000 years before, Arjuna denied this process. He said that very difficult to control mind. I can control wind, but I cannot control the mind. That's Arjuna has told. Now we see even for 5 to 10 minutes, we cannot do meditation. So that's not possible at this time. Then it mentioned, and further next yuga, it was mentioned people by performing sacrifices, fire sacrifices, homa, yajna, they are able to evolve themselves. And then later, Dwapar Yuga, it is mentioned that by paricharyayam, by archa vigraha, by worshipping the Lord, people were able to go back to Godhead. Because Archana Paddhati, there are so many rules and regulations are there for worshipping the Lord. It's not so easy to worship the Lord. So especially at Kali Yuga, it is not possible to perfectly do all these things. So therefore it is mentioned in this Kali Yuga, just people, if we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, by the special mercy, super duper mercy of Lord on all of us, we very easily able to connect with Him and therefore rise our consciousness. It is mentioned that this chanting of the holy name of the Lord is so simple and sublime that anyone, one and all, everyone can chant the holy name of the Lord and rise their consciousness. Rise their consciousness means what? Yeah, we are remembering the Lord. When we are just forgetful of the Lord, it's like at present time we are forgetful of Lord. We are in lower state of consciousness. We see the animals, they can just think about eating, mating, defending and sleeping. Only these 4 things they can think about. Their goal of life is this only: eating, mating, defending and sleeping. Ahar, bhay, nidra, bhay, maithun. But when we rise to a higher level of consciousness, then actually we rise from we think about others, we think about, then we think about we are servant of Krishna, we think about God. So the highest consciousness is to think about Krishna. Jiver Swarup hai Krishna Nitya Das. So this is our original consciousness as soul. This is our original nature is that we understand that we are servant of Krishna, we are servant of God, and we engage in His service. That is the dharma of soul. That is our real dharma. And when we are situated like this, naturally we will become happy. At present time we are trying to become happy and we are not experiencing that happiness, that kind of happiness which we are trying. Here and there, we small way we get satisfied or we get some pleasure, sensual pleasure, but that doesn't last for a long time. So we seeking the real happiness, real pleasure, which is actually the very characteristics of soul. Satchidananda. So soul is described that it is full of eternity, bliss and knowledge. That's the characteristics of soul, spiritual things. That it is Satchidananda. Now at present time, because we are in this body, we are forgetful about our identity. We are just engaged in all the worldly sense gratification. We are forgetful about Krishna, and we think that we see that we are not happy. So when we connect with Krishna, we immediately will experience the happiness. Because Krishna is the source of happiness. It says that Krishna is the source of happiness. As we connect with powerhouse, then whole room is lit up. Though it is night time, we can see there is a very nice light here around. We can see each other. Similarly, as soon as we are connected with Krishna, we can all become very happy. Actually, that is the sign of advanced civilization. In so-called material civilization, so much of influence with the West, where we are always thinking about how to have sensual pleasure. Actually, it's not advanced civilization. The advanced civilization is where everybody comes together and try to serve the Lord. And in this way, there is a love, fraternity in each sphere of life. That is actually Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the one family of the Lord, where everybody is concerned about everyone else. Prabhupada will say that if we love Krishna, we love even an ant. Why we will love even an ant? Because how much we are dear to Krishna, the same way the ant is also dear to Krishna. Even an ant, Krishna is a supreme father of even an ant. So we will not try to harm, we will not try to kill the ant. But if we are not Krishna conscious, if you are not God conscious, then we will see that we will keep fighting. There are so many big or small scale fighting in this world going on, just because of absence of Krishna consciousness. So the best thing is we can do is, today being an independent day, that we can all take a vow that we will read Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is the real constitution and given by Supreme Personality of Godhead. For whom Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna did not needed Bhagavad Gita actually. He was perfect, he was a pure devotee. He was companion of the Lord. Why he need Bhagavad Gita? He is always there with the Lord. For whom Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita? Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita for me. Krishna has spoken Bhagavad Gita for myself. So it is our responsibility to understand what Krishna is telling. Just by reading this, we'll become very happy. Just by reading Bhagavad Gita, we'll become very happy. Because as soon as we read Bhagavad Gita, we are immediately connected with the Lord. We know that Krishna is speaking to us. He is also situated he is there inside our heart as Paramatma. So as we read, we can hear him. So today being a Republic Day, we should take our oath that we should read Bhagavad Gita. We should try to understand what Krishna is telling. Can we do that? So you can all have a copy of Bhagavad Gita. If you already have, then please start reading. And if you do not have, take a copy here and you can try to study Bhagavad Gita. Today we had a program in a school in Metupalayam where the trustee of the school was very kind and he allowed us to address all the children in the school together. So around 1,500 children were there, and from past 3 days we were addressing them on Bhagavad Gita 1 hour class to all the 1,500 children. It was so nice. They were so fortunate. Those children were so fortunate that they were able to hear Bhagavad Gita. Our human life, this birth is actually, the human form of life is actually for this purpose. The sole purpose of human life is to become free, to become really independent from the cycle of birth and death and unite with the Lord. And the Lord also is coming again and again for this purpose. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmani sijamyam. So Krishna manifests himself. Like sun is setting and rising every day. And Krishna is manifesting again and again in each yuga for all of us. So that we can remember him and we can go back to Godhead. So that is, the Krishna is taking so much of trouble for all of us, and he is coming, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he himself is coming and is speaking. So whose responsibility is this, to hear him? It's our responsibility. If we close our ears, then who is at fault? The Lord is speaking to us, but we don't want to see him, we don't want to hear him. And who is at fault? We are ourselves on fault, and therefore we are all suffering. So we should actually wake up. We should wake up and take it very seriously and start studying Bhagavad Gita. Start studying Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada has given so natural commentary on Srimad Bhagavad Gita as Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. Therefore, his title is Bhagavad Gita also as it is. So just read Srila Prabhupada's commentary. So easily we can understand Bhagavad Gita. Each and every page Prabhupada is trying to convince us that we should all chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So while we chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, actually we also develop the necessary qualification, necessary insight to understand and digest Bhagavad Gita. So these two things we have to do. We have to chant Hare Krishna and we should try to study Bhagavad Gita daily basis. It's like we eat food every day. Why we eat food every day? Because we need strength. If we do not eat food every day, then we cannot work properly. So similarly, if we do not chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and if we don't read Bhagavad Gita every day, we will not have sufficient strength. Then again and again we will become subjected to material allurement in the name of, for so much of sense gratification. So we will completely again go in different direction. Therefore, at least you are all coming on weekends here on Sunday. That's very nice, and we request all of you, please continue. It's very important. You come here, you get association of devotees, and we hear Bhagavad Gita. But that's alone is not enough. We should also carry a copy of Bhagavad Gita and Japamala and chant Hare Krishna and study Bhagavad Gita. So this time we are carrying on a Gita-thon program in different schools in the city, and almost 40 schools we have done this program where we are teaching students 1 hour for three days Bhagavad Gita, and towards the end we are calling them all together and giving a copy of Bhagavad Gita along with the Japamala and Krishna photo, where they can chant Hare Krishna and read Bhagavad Gita. This is a Bhagavad Gita kit. So this is a whole marathon during this time. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita very recently during Gita Jayanti. This comes in December month. So we started then onwards, and we have gone to different schools and we have conducted these classes, and now 8th February we are doing this distribution of Bhagavad Gita to them. Any of you, if you are interested, you can also sponsor a copy of this Gita kit to them, the children. They'll get a Bhagavad Gita in their hand and they can start chanting and reading. You can, for yourself, you can buy and carry to your home. And if you already have, then we should very sincerely try to do that. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, we can take.
Hare Krishna. Anybody have any question? Please come.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. You were saying that we have to understand we are not this body, we are the soul. So how can when will I understand, or how can I differentiate that I'm not working on the bodily platform and I'm now in the spiritual soul platform?
Hare Krishna. How to get self-realization. So, very important to have mercy of great devotees in order to get the self-realization. It's not so easy, to actually feel like we are soul. Because from time immemorial, for so long, we are just thinking that we are body, we are body, we are body. Correct or not? Always we are thinking like that. I am body, I am so and so. From the school days itself, if we ask, teacher will teach us, what is your name? Then immediately we say, my name is Ramesh. Again you will ask, what is your name? So we are conditioned like that. So think in this life itself, we are conditioned to think on the bodily level only. And inside also we are so much aspiring for sense gratification. It's a small opportunity is there for sense gratification, immediately we leap on that and we want to have it. Right or not? If there's an opportunity to watch a great movie, many of us will go and we will just immediately dive in. There's a big fist is there, immediately we'll all jump on that. So it's so natural for us to always think that I'm body, I'm so and so, so and so. So it's not so easy to have the selfless and think that I am soul. We definitely need mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. That is very much essential. So we should take shelter. Tad vidhi panipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekchanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So Krishna is telling, if you are really interested in self-realization, then you should approach bona fide spiritual master and try to learn the truth by serving him and humbly inquiring from him. So very much essential, and to have a proper state of consciousness to understand that I am not the body, I am the soul. Definitely we have to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. When we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's like we are preparing ourselves to receive this understanding, to receive this knowledge. And then we connect ourselves with the bona fide spiritual master like Prabhupada, and from his teachings, when we read this, then we will understand this. I am not the body, I am soul. And as soon as we understand this, we will start functioning on that level. As soon as we understand I am soul, then we will not be interested in sense gratification. Then we will try to take Krishna consciousness, spiritual life seriously. Why we are engaged in so many worldly activities? Because we are forgetful about our true identity. I hope that makes sense.
Hare Krishna. Anybody have? Okay, we profusely thank His Grace Acyuta Gopinath Prabhu for a wonderful class on Bhagavad Gita. Please sit down another couple of minutes. Announcement about upcoming festivals.